Hey, it's Tani again, bringing you the second video of the lesson 2 of kombucha brewing. So now that you've known how to do the first fermentation, I'm sure there's tons of overwhelm. Yet, there are some ways for you to grasp that knowledge and grasp that skill. You're going to be so good in no time. Just do this a couple of weeks and find one day a week to do this repeatedly so that you can always have that routine. So for us, it's usually on Tuesdays, especially if you have a cleaner or helper, or there's a day that you kind of do a deeper clean, you can do that right before that day. That way you can just clean everything up. And then the second fermentation is once your 7 days is up and you put it in the cool dry place, you've been sending it positive intentions. Every time you walk past it, you're experiencing just wonderful wishes and goal setting and inspiration for that. You can do the second part of it, which is the second fermentation. Second fermentation is all about flavoring and also adding carbonation. And the two ways to do that is, one way is to find your flavored tea and brew it with honey and add it to your brew as a 1/3 to 2/3 ratio, and then leaving it like that for 3 to 4 days, and then taste as you will for the carbonation and the right flavor. So that's one way. Second way is using another sweet tea, and this time you can use any kind of fruit tea that you want, and that is also possible. And then the third way is just go crazy and be wild and creative and see whatever you can add in that has some form of a fructose or a honey content. Go for it and try it out. Ginger lemon works for some people, turmeric, but you also need to add some honey in it, or cinnamon. And we've got pineapple, we've got lavender basil, we've got tart cherry. So decide what it is that you want, and here are all the steps that you can do to get that in your system.
Second fermentation, you don't need slowly.
Oh.
Yeah, because this is already activated.
Uh-huh.
So if you add the second fermentation, it's just the liquid and you just fill it up here. So you don't need the SCOBY to create the reaction. So the reaction will automatically happen.
Right.
So the second fermentation, you put, if you want to brew your ginger tea, you can put it in a pot and you can brew ginger, lemon, honey, brew it, cool it down, and then you fill all the bottles up this much with the first fermentation, and then you fill the rest of it up with second fermentation, and you just let all the
Pour
bottles
this into this first.
Yeah, correct.
And then I start to experiment my own flavor.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So basically, when you harvest, you will fill the bottle up. So you're gonna get 2 bottles. So you can do like second fermentation with these. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it all the way up to here, right? And then this much will be the second fermentation liquid. So if it's ginger tea, if it's passion fruit juice, or whatever juice it is. So this is the second fermentation. It could be another sweet tea. Like hibiscus is hibiscus tea. I'm gonna let you try that. And then you leave it like that for a few days. And then bubbles will come up and it'll be carbonated because you're going to close it with an airtight lid. And then you leave it down in the darkness or wherever you want, and then it's just going to become a carbonated drink. And then for your jar, every time you want to harvest it, like let's say you fill it up to this point at one point. Today we're just going to fill it up to like this point. But if let's say like this point, and then you can double the volume in the next fermentation, and then after that you can harvest. When you harvest it, just harvest it to here. So the starter liquid will be all the way here, and just redo this part all the time. So you have more starter liquid to start with. So this, for example, my starter liquid will cover the entire SCOBY plus a little bit more. So it will probably be like this much. So this is all new stuff, but then all the stuff in the bottom usually is old from before.